What if I told you that everything you think you know about streaming is about to become completely obsolete? Stay with me here, because what Apple is planning for 2026 will fundamentally change how you experience entertainment in your living room forever. Right now, somewhere in Cupertino, there's a team of engineers working on something so ambitious that even Apple insiders are calling it the biggest leap in home entertainment since the original iPhone transformed smartphones. And today, I'm going to walk you through exactly what's coming, why it matters, and honestly, why you might want to hold off on buying any streaming device until you hear what I'm about to share. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine walking into your living room, and before you even sit down, your TV knows exactly what you want to watch. Not because of some basic algorithm that tracks your viewing history, but because the device actually understands your mood, your schedule, the time of day, who else is in the room with you, and what's happening in your life right now. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, Apple doesn't think so. The current Apple TV 4K is already the gold standard when it comes to streaming devices. We all know that. But here's the thing most people don't realize. Apple has been holding back. They've been strategically waiting for specific technologies to mature before unleashing what they really have planned. And 2026 is the year everything comes together. Let's start with the processor because this is where things get absolutely wild. The current A15 Bionic chip is powerful, no question about it. But the chip rumored for the 2026 model is reportedly based on the M4 architecture, specifically designed and optimized for entertainment processing. We're talking about a neural engine so advanced that it can upscale any content to 8K resolution in real time while simultaneously analyzing the audio and adjusting it perfectly for your specific room acoustics. Your crappy old DVDs? They'll look like they were filmed yesterday with a $100 million budget. But processing power is just the beginning, and honestly, it's not even the most exciting part. What really got my attention when I started researching this is the integration with Apple's mixed reality ecosystem. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking this is going to be another gimmick, another feature nobody actually uses. But hear me out, because this is different. Apple has been quietly acquiring spatial computing patents at an unprecedented rate over the past 18 months. We're talking about technology that will allow your Apple TV to project interactive elements into your actual living room. Imagine watching a football game and seeing real-time stats floating next to your coffee table. Imagine watching a cooking show and having the recipe ingredients listed right there in your physical kitchen space, visible through lightweight glasses that don't look like something from a bad science fiction movie. The controller situation is also getting a complete overhaul. And this one surprised me. That Siri remote we've all been using, it's reportedly being replaced with something Apple is internally calling the touch ring. It's a small circular device that fits in your palm, uses haptic feedback for navigation, and here's the crazy part. It can detect hand gestures even when you're not touching it. Wave your hand to pause. Make a fist to go back. Point to select. It sounds gimmicky until you realize how natural this becomes after just a few minutes of use. Early testers are saying they can't go back to traditional remotes. Now let's talk about the feature that I personally think will sell more units than anything else. Apple is reportedly introducing something called intelligent scene matching. Here's how it works. The device analyzes what you're watching in real time and automatically adjusts your smart home environment to match. Watching a horror movie? Your lights dim automatically, your blinds close. Maybe there's even a subtle vibration in your couch if you have compatible furniture. Watching a bright morning show? Your lights gradually increase to match. It's not just about what's on the screen anymore. It's about creating an entire atmosphere. The audio capabilities deserve their own conversation because Apple is doing something nobody else has attempted. The 2026 model will reportedly feature built-in room mapping that works with any speak or system, not just HomePods. Through some seriously advanced software processing, the device will be able to make a cheap soundbar perform like a premium surround system. It analyzes your room's dimensions, identifies problematic frequencies, compensates for furniture absorption, and delivers audio specifically calibrated for where you're actually sitting. Move to a different spot on your couch. It adjusts in real time. Gaming is another area where this device is about to shock people. Apple Arcade has always been good, but let's be honest, it's never been taken seriously by hardcore gamers. That's about to change dramatically. The processing power in this new unit, combined with Apple's gaming partnerships, means we're going to see console-quality titles that previously required dedicated gaming hardware. There are reports of major gaming studios already developing exclusive titles specifically for this platform. We're not talking about mobile games on a bigger screen anymore. We're talking about genuine competition with PlayStation and Xbox. Let me address something important here. A lot of people are skeptical about these claims, and honestly, healthy skepticism is good. But consider Apple's track record. When they entered the smartphone market, Nokia and BlackBerry laughed. When they announced the Apple Watch, traditional watchmakers dismissed it as a toy. When AirPods were revealed, people mocked the design for weeks. Every single time, Apple proved the doubters wrong. Not immediately, but eventually. They play the long game, and they usually win. The storage situation is also being addressed in a way that makes total sense. Current models max out at 128 gigabytes, which honestly hasn't been enough for years. The 2026 model is reportedly starting at 256 gigabytes, with options going up to 1 terabyte. But here's the clever part. Apple is implementing something called predictive caching. The device learns your viewing habits and pre-downloads content it thinks you'll want to watch. Come home from work on a Friday night. Your favorite shows are already downloaded in the highest quality, ready to play instantly with zero buffering, zero waiting. Privacy is obviously a concern whenever we talk about devices that are constantly learning our habits, analyzing our rooms, and tracking our preferences. Apple knows this is a sensitive issue, and they're apparently going all in on on-device processing. Nothing goes to the cloud unless you explicitly approve it. All the machine learning, all the analysis, all the personalization happens right there in your living room. This isn't just marketing speak either. Apple's architecture makes this technically possible in ways that competitors simply cannot match. The content partnerships being discussed for this launch are staggering. There are reports of exclusive streaming deals with major studios specifically optimized for the 2026 hardware. We're talking about content mastered at quality levels that current devices literally cannot display. Directors are apparently being given new tools to create interactive viewing experiences that only work on this platform. Imagine watching a movie where you can choose camera angles in real time during action sequences. Imagine documentaries where you can explore additional information just by looking at something on screen. Price is always the big question, and this is where things get interesting. Early indications suggest Apple is planning a more aggressive pricing strategy than expected. The base model is rumored to come in around the same price point as the current high-end model, which would represent significant value considering the hardware improvements. There's also apparently a subscription bundle being developed that includes the device itself, Apple TV Plus, Apple Music, Apple Arcade, and iCloud storage, all for one monthly payment. This could be a game changer for people who are hesitant about the upfront cost. Installation and setup are being completely reimagined as well. The device will reportedly recognize your TV model automatically, configure optimal settings without any input from you, connect to your network seamlessly, and have your personalized interface ready to go within minutes. If you're coming from an older Apple TV, everything transfers over automatically. Your apps, your preferences, your watch history, everything. Apple wants the transition to be completely frictionless. The environmental angle matters more than ever, and Apple is apparently making this their most sustainable streaming device yet. Recycled materials throughout the casing, carbon-neutral manufacturing, packaging that's entirely plastic-free, and a device designed to last significantly longer than previous generations. This isn't just corporate virtue signaling either. The build quality being described sounds genuinely impressive. Here's what I want you to take away from everything I've shared today. The streaming device market has been relatively stagnant for years. Sure, we've seen incremental improvements, slightly better chips, minor feature additions, but nothing revolutionary. Apple is positioning this 2026 release as their statement product, the device that defines what streaming should be for the next decade. Whether they pull it off remains to be seen, but the ambition alone is remarkable. If you're currently thinking about buying a new streaming device, my honest advice is to wait. What's coming is worth the patience. And if you found this breakdown valuable, if this gave you information you hadn't heard elsewhere, I'd appreciate you sharing it with someone else who might benefit. The conversation around this device is just getting started, and I'll be covering every development as we get closer to launch.